follow people on and see content, that Instagram's not as big as it was 2016.
Yeah, it changed.
Didn't they change the filtering as well?
They changed everybody changed everything.
They changed
a whole lot.
They're trying to make it more Snapchat wise. That's why there's like Instagram stories.
But you know the real reason? Because the influencers started making money.
Yeah.
Right.
Now they're not necessarily making money.
Yeah, they're changing that.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about?
I need to move the mic because of the shop.
But TikTok is like number one, I heard.
Yeah.
They're number one.
TikTok's number one right now.
Would you ever do TikTok? Because I don't have the time to do another one.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Would I?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been wanting to kind of feel it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've been wanting to, but it's just one of those things where you don't just go and post and be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see how it goes. Like, I would want to have like content laid out and like a plan for it. And
oh, I jumped right into it.
Right.
Like, I wish I was smart with it, but I just started posting like stupid stuff, like of me just.
So you do more TikTok and you communicate through Instagram.
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah.
Like, especially post-wise, I post probably, like, I try to post every day on TikTok. If not, then at least, like, 4 times a week. And then on Instagram, shoot, it's been, like, months in between posts. Like, I use the stories a lot to keep people updated. Like, hey, I just posted a new TikTok video. Hey, like, add me on Snapchat. Kind of, like, showcasing other platforms.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Instagram, it's, I don't post that much on there.
It's gonna be dying.
Yeah. It's not as big anymore.
Not as big as it was because they keep changing everything. People are like,
Yeah.
that's true. With the changes, it gets.
keep changing. It
People
just
don't.
changes the whole-
Yeah.
People don't
It's
like that
alright,
they're ripping off
something
other apps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like,
And that's what happens with those corporations like that.
as soon as one app blows up, they're like, oh, that's a good idea. We're going to put that
And
in our
then
app.
they figure out how to maneuver you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like different apps have different purposes. So, like, I feel like TikTok right now is the app that's, like, it's more so YouTube. It's like, okay, we can go on there for entertainment. Then Instagram, I feel like it's more of, like, keeping your family updated versus how it was before where it was, like, you could, like, brag and boast yourself on Instagram. It's not like that anymore. It's more like, hey, I was just getting dinner with a friend and posting that more so than, like, I just got this big gig, like, you know, stuff like that, where you don't use it as, like, a daily thing anymore. It's, like, a once in a while, like, oh, this is how I'm doing, versus, like, a daily, everyday thing. It's, like, a once in a while.
So how do you think with the TikTok, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
So how do you think with the TikTok, I noticed, obviously Instagram has changed where it was just random photos and people posting of, you know, their family and their friends
food
and their
like
right? But then
random
now
stuff.
everyone has their theme and they have their colors and they have their filters and everything is unison. It looks almost more like a curated magazine.
Yeah.
Right? Content and something that's very overproduced.
Yeah.
With TikTok, do you have a theme like that or is it crazy all content? Do you
So for sure with Instagram, it's a lot more of a theme-based. Like, everybody needs kind of, like, if you want to be good at Instagram and, like, get followers, everybody needs to have their thing.
Right.
So, like, their brand, So, like, for me, mine's, like, influencer, traveling, like, and fashion.
Your travel are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with TikTok, it's more so, like, you can kind of do whatever, but they have this algorithm, so the video of yours that gets the most likes and the most views is kind of your theme. So that's what people, like, see you as, and that's where you gain your followers from.
Interesting.
So if you want, like, more views and stuff, then you kind of go off of that.
Does
one
that
video.
change as you gain more?
Yes. So, like, I had one video where it was, like, a collage of different videos of me traveling. So I kind of wanted to go off, like, Instagram, like, and do it like that. And that got tons of views, so I'm like, okay, that's my thing. So I started posting more travel stuff. And then I made a stupid, like, video of me, like, doing some dumb dance. And then that got tons of views. I'm like, crap, now this is my thing. And so then I went off of that. And then now it's kind of, like, more on the comedy side, where I, like, joke around with, like, text and, like, relatable content. And then now that's my thing right now. So it changes throughout. You're not stuck with something. But it's, like, you can post whatever, whenever, obviously.
And it's all video, there's no photo.
No, but you can do, like photos, like, videos of a photo, if that makes sense. So you can, that's what I did with my recent one. Like, there.
had more
frame,
business coming.
and then I showed the rest of the video.
I'm just
so
trying
that
to
you
get-
kind of interpret
make it efficient.
pictures.
She found her little hacks.
You
Yeah.
guys
They're already
you
happy
just watched
knowing
this
that
most
it's down and
ridiculous
not
movie,
far from
but
us.
have you seen
Yeah, they're all in this area. Yeah.
Internet Famous?
They're 130 people.
It's on Netflix. It's ridiculous.
Oh no, that's an
movie.
interesting show. Yeah.
But it is. It's interesting that you say because this one girl is known for this one silly thing.
Yeah.
And she's an actress, and every time she walks into a room, they're like, "You're the girl from YouTube," and they
Yeah,
all start
yeah.
laughing, and she's just like defeated. And it
There's-
becomes this.
that
And all these
happens.
internet stars all
Yeah.
compete for their own TV show,
Wow.
and they all have their different like
Brand.
Yeah.
video.
Yeah.
Or the you'll get a kick out of it. It
I'm
is into
actually
it as you
really
guys
into it,
are.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's ridiculous. Don't watch it if you have something more important to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not,
I'll watch it like
it's
late
not one
at
of
night.
those.
If I don't have any other
Hey, what was
shows
your
to
one?
watch.
It's not
sure.
pressing.
Yeah.
But do watch it because the take on how people get their likes and they have like certain things they call their followers
Yeah.
and just and
That's
it's almost
so true,
believable
though.
that they're real people.
Yeah.
Like I was for a minute I was like, are they actually from YouTube?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah,
wait,
you don't know.
is this a documentary?
Yeah,
Or?
but it's based like that. So they follow these 5 people around, and it is based like a documentary,
Oh,
like
that's
behind
cool.
the scenes as they
Oh,
like
okay.
gear up to the competition.
Yeah.
It's
So
really funny, but
crazy.
it's so absurd that you're
No,
like,
it's so funny. Like my friend right now has like 2 million on TikTok. Like blew up like crazy, and it was because he was in a video. It was like you can do like a lot of like scenes too, where you can act out like, oh, this happened in public, like how crazy we caught it on film, kind of thing. So 2 of my friends did it where they were like stopped at a red light, and my friend that's a girl thought the guy next to her was really cute. So she rolled down the window and said, "Hey, can you put in your number?" And like was filming herself saying all this and handed the phone over. And then he looked at it and it was still on the video and wasn't like in the contact app. So he like saw himself and he goes, "Oh hell no!" Like handed
Hey,
it
Gene.
back. And because of that one line that he said, "Oh hell no," he blew up like crazy. And so
Right.
people like I've been
Say that
to
again?
like the Spectrum Mall or like random malls. And they'll go up to him and be like, "You're the oh hell no guy." So it's,
Oh,
that
okay.
stuff happens.
It's crazy.
Like
how
that stuff actually
It's up to you. We hadn't
happens.
started our
That's
first
funny.
one. We'll start our first one in like 5 minutes.
Social media is it's incredible.
Yeah.
You guys
It
heard
really
about
is.
that girl on YouTube, the one that lives in a van?
Oh, okay. All right, that's not a problem.
She got viral over just doing these van videos. Like she went from like 1 year of having no
Yeah, don't worry about it.
no subs to like a year later she was like 9 million
Okay.
subscribers.
Sounds good. I got your sheets in front of me anyhow.
Doing this her in her van, but it's like maybe she has a team behind her. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's kind of like set up that way, but she just blew up super fast.
My friend has a story kind of similar like that. He moved from
Yep, I'll do
I
that.
think it was North Carolina to LA just because he wanted
Okay.
to pursue,
All right, thanks, Jane.
like,
When
he
are you
wanted to
leaving?
become something, you know, and it's like everyone moves to LA when
Right.
they want to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
So he moved here on his own. He was like 18, straight out of high school, like ran away from his parents, got enough money to move out, and then got a hotel, and then all of a sudden he doesn't have money.
Yeah.
So he's living on the streets behind a McDonald's, and he has his phone and stuff. And so one day, he's just filming himself like putting together this like little tiny like you know how you can put like, do you know what Mentos are? Like the mints, you can
Yeah.
put Mentos and Coke and
Yeah,
shake it up and it explodes.
Yeah.
So he was doing stuff like that, like stupid little stuff where he was putting together stuff and kind of like having a blast on his own, you know, and just filming it. And then this guy named B Dave, which like I
We can have the
know
opening
pretty well, but
before
he
it
was
too.
driving by and saw him the same, like every time he drives by the McDonald's, he saw this like homeless man just putting together all this stuff and just watching
do you
stuff
wanna
like
add it?
explode and like
I'll add it. I
laughing
can add it
about
later.
it.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
And so and so he was like 18 by himself. And so every day he'd come up like over and like give him food and stuff. And then one day he was like, "Dude, why don't you do this for a living? Like your stuff's funny. Like I stop on the side of the street to watch what you're doing. Like it's hilarious. Like you have a phone, right?" And like was like, "You should start like posting it. Like you'll get views." And so he was like, "Hey, like come with me." And so he had like a little apartment in LA. Took him in, started working with him on YouTube and stuff, and now he has over 4 million followers. Makes all the money
I
himself.
actually think I've seen it. My
Has-
daughter watches them.
Yeah.
both.
Has his own.
I'm like, I know him.
Wow.
Has his own house.
The guy with Mentos.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Of all the things I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's
him, I
funny.
do.
Yeah, like has his own house. just like makes tons of money just from like
That's so
doing this
funny.
stupid stuff. And this guy was like, you can make money off that.
Here's my only
can.
question: are they prepared for the long run now? That's my only
You mean when it
question.
dies?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it dies
Yeah.
down after a certain.
because I don't think they are.
People don't plan that out.
No, they don't.
Set it up.
Yeah, they're like,
I mean,
oh,
really-
this works for now. Let's do that. And then it dies, and they're like,
Set
crap,
yourself
what now?
up.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do, right?
You know,
Because
invest in
everything is
properties and-
short-lived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, in
Yeah.
this kind of like
Even social
everything's
media, sooner or later, it's
disposable.
gonna change.
Everything
Yeah.
is
Because the corporations
always
catch on
involved.
to it, and then they actually out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, especially with, like, influencers. I don't think influencers are going to be around forever.
No.
They
They're
can't
not.
be because
Yeah.
as large. I mean, what is it? What do they
Here,
say?
well,
If
here's
they-
the thing.
They're
And
going
I
to come up
found
with
that out
robots or
last
something
year
to do that.
when Nikki came on, and I was like, because you guys started before me,
Mm-hmm.
and all I did was just bring traditional to influencer together
Yeah.
in the middle. Anybody can do it, but is anybody doing it? No.
Yeah.
You know what their favorite colors are? Red and orange. As they're scrolling, those are the colors that stop
Really?
and get their attention. Yeah.
No, it's true, yeah.
Oh, it's kind of like McDonald's, like how they use
Yeah.
the colors to like stimulate
Like-
the mind.
Like Doritos
I know
and
how
stuff,
these
you
people
pick, like,
think.
most
That's
colors.
why I have.
Yeah.
See, when the beginning of the year, I'm going to add her numbers. Do I have your permission to bring you in as one of my influencers now?
Mhm.
So I have 97 million followers in my social media network. Watch what happens in January 1st when I bring her in. How many she's going to have.
I know it'll be amazing.
So when I'm at CES, watch and see what happens to
Yeah.
those
Wow.
companies. Because I already know. I already know what's going to happen to you, and you.
Yeah.
Already know.
Like,
The colors for
yeah.
sure.
I feel like with like people like influencers and stuff like this, it's like I feel like you need to have a bigger goal than just being an influencer.
Yeah.
Like whether it's like you want to go into marketing or you want to go into, I don't know, like if you do like crazy stuff and you like
Coaching, acting, or something.
yeah,
It's a
like
platform.
even
for
like if you
transition.
do like I was saying, like crazy like skateboard tricks, something like that. Like if you get views off that, okay, well, become a stunt actor. Like if you're doing all this stuff, throwing your body around, like
Yeah.
you have to have like a bigger goal. That's
Yeah.
a legitimate
I
job.
found that
Well,
out.
you get-
Well, you know, it's like when you did your thing at in Atlanta. There's always those ex athletes that need something to do.
once they're done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
see
mean,
that
we
a lot.
had retired like Hall of Famers. We had retired. I mean, and they're looking at these companies for opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the company's looking for them, going, "I can't believe we're meeting you," and he's looking at them, going, "I
Help me."
can't believe you need a spokesperson."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, so they were
Yeah.
trying. I mean, it really is a mutual thing where they maybe didn't set themselves up, but at this point, they're like,
Yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah.
You know, I'll help you if you help me, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But
No, that's
they have to
so
have a goal in
true.
mind.
Yeah.
I think you have
Justin
a
Bieber,
great-
for example.
Yeah.
He didn't just go on and start singing. Like, he knew what he was doing
Yeah.
it for.
He did it like
And-
really smartly.
Right.
Who
But
is it?
Justin Bieber.
Oh yeah.
But
He's just got to
influencers-
stay out of trouble.
Yeesh.
No, but
Yeah.
I just mean, like, when he started, it wasn't just some kid doing, blowing up
Yeah.
Coca-Cola bottles.
Yeah.
He
He
knew
knew.
that he wanted to go on there for exposure because he knew
And
he
Usher
wanted
helped
to be,
him a great
right?
deal too. Yeah.
Right, but he never would have seen him if he hadn't have,
I know.
Yeah.
pushed it the way he did.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're right with the influencers that they should have a goal.
Yeah.
they
Like
should have a
mine's
backup.
acting. So like right now I use it for connections and
It should be networking.
Yeah, and
no matter what your
yeah.
niche is.
Just use it as a
yeah, so
platform.
I use it as like I'll do stupid videos, but at the same time I'll also like show like the comedy side of me and like how I can like present myself and talk well, and like I'll do like scenes once in a while too, like just to show like the acting side
Instagram's
of
a resume, isn't
it. Yeah,
it?
it
That's
really
my
is.
resume.
You know,
That's
it's
my online
everyone's at
profile.
this
People
point,
say my
yeah.
work. It's my online profile.
Yeah,
Any job you apply to, put your social media handle at the bottom.
yeah.
I'm a
They
member
ask
of.
for it now.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
I'm a member of SAG-AFTRA, and I just found out that they're actually allowing social media content in the union now. So that's huge. So they're actually
They are.
looking
That's
for influencers
interesting.
now. Like that's never been done before.
That's good for
Wow.
you.
Now
I
they
didn't know
realize
that.
the importance of having influencers in the union. So now they're starting to integrate that. So that's a huge thing.
It is a huge thing.
That's
You
really
want to add it
And
afterwards,
as of
Mike? Then.
last
Yeah, I'm
year,
gonna
so I do a Coachella
Okay.
Lounge as well, and it's all influencers. I
Wow.
mean, we have a few celebrities that come down, but it's,
Yeah.
it's
Start anytime you
mainly
want.
for influencers and numbers.
Yeah.
And it was the first time that I was approached by agencies that it was all we represent as influencers, right? That was never
you
a
wanna
thing
sit over
before.
They're the new
I mean,
celebrities.
modeling, acting, all of them, they wouldn't even influencers because their faces
No.
aren't
Okay,
recognizable.
go
Yeah.
over there.
And now you really don't know. You might know the handle name,
But yeah, you guys.
Yeah.
but she
You
won't
know anytime you
recognize
want.
the
It's rolling.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, they're the
You
new
know, and now
celebrities.
that's
Basically,
what
what's
it wants.
happening. It's like they're the new celebrities.
All right.
It really is.
We're going to start
Okay.
in 3, 2. He's going to put my intro up first. Hey, this is Brian Sebastian, Movie Reviews and More, the Women's Broadcast TV Network, iTube 247, and Worldwide TV Network. And I'm glad to be here today because I got all my friends together, and I got to start this way. First of all, ladies first. Who are you? What are you doing here?
Good question, Brian. I am Brittany Reimann. I am the founder of Indigo Event Management. And I am here because I am an event planner and I'm in the industry of celebrity events as well as nonprofit organization fundraisers and galas.
And who's this kid in the middle?
Hi, I'm Mackenzie McClelland. I live locally. I help with my dad's company, which is QURE Energy right here. And I also am an ongoing actress, influencer, so I do all that kind of stuff. And Brian kind of found me in the gutter and pulled me here.
I did. And who's this black guy in the corner?
Black in a corner is Lamonte Goode, founder and creator of Cyberyoga and Neo Sutras, New Age movement practice.
Now, these guys are all creative. I had to say that for one thing because I adore Brittany and I like Kenzie and Lamont. He's good at what he does. Anybody who can teach me to ride on a hoverboard and do yoga on it has got me there. Because when we connected, show them this shirt first of all. That's a great shirt.
Thank you very
But
much.
the things that you can do, you used to travel all cross country on your hoverboard. Talk about that.
Oh yeah, just a lot of practice and traveling on the hoverboard just to test myself and my skills and see what's possible. And now I'm here with you.
Now, all right, so getting up and doing yoga on top of your head on your hoverboard. Yes, on top of your head on your hoverboard.
Yes.
Talk about that. That's not easy.
It's not easy, but I'm a little bit crazy as well. Just in general. I overly just like to challenge my mindset and body and see what's possible. So years of just discipline and training allow me to be more open-minded with what's possible with practice. So I kind of just applied the same sets and skill sets to the hoverboard.
Yeah.
And above and beyond that.
Kenzie, ever been on a hoverboard?
Oh, once, and I will not go back.
Well, this is different. He actually teaches it. That's a different. So imagine him being a teacher, doing a yoga on it, and actually riding cross town on that.
That's crazy.
That's where we kind of connected. And then, Fit Expo, which was really interesting
was
because you got on
amazing.
KTLA. Talk about that experience.
Oh, that was amazing.
You were sitting there, no one knew what to do with you, which I thought was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was amazing. You know what? I'm just minding my own business, doing my thing on a hoverboard, and somebody, just approached me, and then I got contacted by People Are Awesome and Tech Insider and all these different things, just from being me, just doing my crazy stuff on the board, and got lots of attention just from that.
And talk about doing crazy things. What are you better on, Instagram or TikTok?
I'm better on Instagram, but I'm really inspired by TikTok, thanks to my new friend here. I'm really inspired by that, really to delve into that territory. So I'm really looking forward to what I can create on that.
And now you're going to go on your Instagram.
Yes.
Now, so Kenzie, talk about you because you're creating a little niche here, which is quite interesting. And this is the reason why I want you both to beat Brittany too.
Yeah.
Talk about you play soccer, you like to travel. Your dad created this great company called QURE Water, which I adore. Talk about this first of all,
Okay, so...
and show your friends on TikTok too.
Yeah.
See, I got to remind influencers what they're good at doing.
Yeah.
Isn't that nuts, Brittany? Are you doing your Instagram yet? No. See, I got to remind these people.
Okay. I do.
The old traditional guys reminding the youngsters. Look at that. They're like fiddling around. They got bad necks and everything like that, too. So, the water, you hadn't had this before. Can you taste it a little bit?
I haven't had it, and honestly, I was telling Kenzie, it's any flavored water is a friend of mine because it's so hard for me to get enough water in a day.
And you don't like water, so that's really important for you.
I need something flavor. I'm really a fan of carbonated beverages, but to be honest,
And it's got alkaline water in it, too, which is
I
good.
love the fact that it's pH balanced, which Kenzie was explaining to me, and it has 130 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah.
So if I can get it in caffeine without coffee,
In the morning.
And-
A lot of fitness people like this, too, because of that.
and the flavoring is awesome. It's not overwhelming. Sometimes flavored water to me is very sweet, and you can tell that it's artificially flavored. this wild berry that I'm having is absolutely, it's wonderful. It's really mild, but super refreshing.
So when she came in here, she's like, "What is this?"
Yeah. She
goes,
right away was like, what is this?
She goes, "I don't like water, but this could be different. Oh, it's got flavored.
Yeah.
I may like
First
this."
of all, it was
Yeah.
really appealing because it said energy across it. So
Exactly.
when we were out in the morning, I was like, what is this? Like, immediately drawn
I
to
saw the
it.
caffeine. I was like, oh,
All right, so here's the thing. The whole tagline, clean energy, right?
Wow.
That's what it says on everything on this. That's what makes it special on that. Talk about how proud. I'm very, very happy to meet you guys as a family because I like your family. You know, your dad is really cool. I like Lance. Your mom is really cool. I can't wait. Your dad's mom. The whole family's going to be on here eventually.
Oh, gosh.
Talk
Take
about
it
why
over.
this is important, especially in this creating this.
Yeah, well, I'm, of course, really proud of my dad. And he's, been a businessman for a long time. And he worked with, Monster, Red Bull, Rockstar, other people with like that before. But he's always wanted his own thing. So now that, he's come up with QURE Energy, he's really, really proud of it. And it's something unique. And there's a couple other brands like it, but nothing that
Not
can
like
offer-
this.
Nothing that can offer everything that this does.
Right.
And I think, like, not only is this really good for health-wise and for energy-wise, getting your caffeine in the morning, but I think it's also really good for getting out there and people that need, like, kind of like you said, like, need the water in their life, but are really bad at taking in water. Like, trust me, I'm an athlete, and I drink, like, gallons a day, and I still don't get enough.
All right,
So-
yeah.
If I could have this
Yeah.
in the morning instead of a cup of coffee,
Absolutely.
I would.
Yeah.
Right? Where I'm hydrating myself, but
Yeah.
still getting that.
Yeah.
That's the reason why.
Okay,
That's
so
why a
then
lot of
we
fitness
all-
people like it, especially in the morning. They stopped having the coffee and just starting to have this.
Yeah.
And where could I find this?
So my dad is working with Costco right now, and we're trying to get that out there. But for now, they're building their own website, so you'll be able to buy like packages and stuff like that through the website.
Yep.
But all working on it right now. Yes.
That's what makes it fun, especially for you when you're bouncing off your head
Oh my
all the time.
It makes me even more
Does
crazy.
it have pain reliever as well? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Just kidding.
Yeah, it's an idea.
Well, that's the good thing
Yeah.
about alkaline too, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were traveling lately.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yes.
You and your dad. Did your mom go too?
Yes, whole family.
Yep.
Mom, dad.
It's always a
sister,
family thing.
brother. Always a family thing. So, yeah, I mean, we've traveled, throughout the U.S. pretty much before, but never really been out of the country a whole lot. Like, when I was little, I went to Canada. We went to Cabo, typical little travels, like, around. But I've never been, like, anywhere super far. And I'm, like, the person that wants to go to every country on every continent, like, before I die. So I was like, okay, like, I know we do the summer vacation thing. Like, we pick a place and we go travel. But I know we do Hawaii. I get it. You guys like Hawaii. I do, too. But can we go somewhere new? So, yeah, I just graduated out of high school last year. And so, I kind of got the big trip kind of thing. So we chose to do a Europe trip.
Did you have a say in it?
Somewhat. I was definitely not the final say, but my input was received. So we went to Dublin first, Ireland, and then we went to London, and then finished in Scotland, and it was amazing.
How'd you like Ireland?
Oh, it was beautiful. I think that was like my favorite place, just because like London is so like city based, which I love. Also, I'm like I love LA. But I loved just the history in Dublin. Like, you can literally drive by and see, like, old gunshot wounds and, like, in old buildings. Like, they keep everything up. They don't tear it down and redo it. Like, they keep their history in there. And it's just so cool to see it. It's, like, literally driving through a history book. I loved it.
So as a millennial and a social media influencer in a different way, were you able to get on your phone?
Oh, my, yes.
All right, so how did that happen?
My parents knew that, like, eventually they would have to cave in and buy us, like, the internet because we would not shut up if they knew. It was like a 2-week trip, so they were like, oh god, if they don't have their social
Were you like
media,
hemorrhaging in the corner and scratching yourself and everything?
Yeah, shaking, like shivering, cold sweats, yeah, all of it. No, but they knew that eventually if we didn't have any kind of entertainment, we would drive each other insane. So yes, we had that, and it was they were strict about it though, but they were like, yes, you can take pictures, yes, you can post here and there, but when it comes time to like, we're on like the tour buses or when we're learning stuff, in the pocket or it's mine. So
I like that.
yeah.
That's good though.
That is good.
Yeah. So of course, like all of us wanted to take pictures for Instagram and all that, but also just for memories. So we got to do that, but at the same time, when it came down to it, like we were barely on our phones, which was awesome.
How'd you like Scotland? I couldn't come back from Scotland unless I had my kilt.
Yeah.
No, I did. And I told Samuel
yeah.
Jackson this. I'm like, Sam, I'm the only real black guy that I know of in the U.S. that brought his own kilt back from Scotland.
Yeah.
Because it takes 6 weeks.
Brian?
Hell yeah, I wear my kilt. I got pictures up on my Instagram of my kilt. I'm proud of my kilt. The only thing I didn't know is I didn't know what clan it was because I didn't know.
Oh, there's clans?
Yeah, I see. I'm not the only black guy who didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So
Wow.
I didn't know
There's
that
one
either.
close to my last name. It's McClelland without the D at the end.
Wow.
Well, here's what happened. When I got back here, one guy in Hollywood Boulevard asked me, "So I like your kilt. What clan is it from?" And I go,
What?
I was just happy to bring a kilt back. I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't think about the clan. So he goes, "It looks like it's a Pitcher Tent clan." I go, "Really?"
Oh, what? Yeah.
And he goes, "No, I was just making it up." I thought he was telling the truth.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I go, "That's pretty good." I'm like, "Then that's not funny."
Yeah.
But no, I'm really proud of my because it's like these colors, and I wanted it, but and I got it from a rented store. It was worn once, and I'm so proud of it. I have the leggings. I wear it with my high
Yes.
hiking
You need the
boots.
bagpipes. You'll be
No, I
set.
didn't go that far.
Okay.
No, I'm a drummer. I'm not. I can't blow the horn.
Next time, yeah.
But no, it was an honor to be to Edinburgh and Glasgow,
went
Scotland. I
both-
wanted
we
to
went both,
because why? Because my favorite idol was Roddy Piper from
I used to love
WWE
Roddy
Wrestling.
Piper. He was my favorite.
So I didn't know this. I didn't know he was really born in Washington because he always said, "I'm from Glasgow, Scotland." So I said, "Oh, I'm going to go to Scotland and get a kilt one day." And I did. So when I finally met him, I'm like, "Rowdy, I got a kilt." He goes, "Good for you, mate."
Okay, but did you go see the Braveheart Tower?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that was cool. Like for me being like so into like, acting and movies and stuff, like just seeing all that and like actual history of it, and then they had like the real sword in the movie, and they had so much like behind the scenes of it because it was filmed there, and then they have like all the movie stuff there. So it was really cool, and then they had all the history of like the actual story and stuff. So it was cool. I loved it. And I think you need to go back.
I am
going to
go back. I am going to go
bring-
back.
you guys
Because I need to find out what
bagpipes.
clan I'm from.
Yeah.
That's
I
Yeah.
want to go visit now. I'm super inspired to go check it
Yeah.
out.
Well, that's the good thing
Yeah.
about traveling because I always how many countries have you been to? Did you keep track yet? Keep track.
So I've been to Mexico, Canada, Ireland, England, Scotland, and then I went to Paris.
You're
with my
doing pretty
grandma.
good.
Yeah.
So when I graduated high school, I had been to 23 countries and I had been to 37 states at that point
Wow.
when I graduated. And the only reason was because I marched in the drum corps, so we were always traveling, which is good. And you've been around traveling, I think, a lot too, right?
I've traveled a little bit.
Yeah.
I've traveled a little bit. Yeah. I've visited Istanbul and I've been to Greece and, obviously done the Mexico thing.
Yeah.
Maybe one too many times.
Yeah.
There sounds like a story
We
behind
walk up
that.
to the office in Cabo and they're like, "Brittany, here's your nachos and your margarita." You got my card on file.
That's funny.
You may have visited one too many times. I love the architecture. I'm a big fan of England. Been there multiple times. My baby girl's been there as well, and so it's really fun to experience it at your age as well as experience it as a mom. And along with the architecture, one of the things I love I love most about traveling is the people. And I have not made it to Ireland. It is on top of my list. But I have heard the people there are so genuine.
So nice.
And it must have been really cool for you to be outside of the U.S. and to experience London and the lifestyle there, and then to have Ireland and the lifestyle there, and then it's all new to you, but to be able to compare those in one trip, I bet was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
Wow.
but I really have heard from multiple people that the actual like interaction from person to person in Ireland is one of the best things in the world.
Oh yeah.
They're so genuine and open and arms, you know, big huge hugs and
very straightforward also. They'll tell you straight to your face like you don't ever need to wear that coat again. Which was actually told to me. True story.
And then they'll invite you over for dinner.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, want to go to a pub?
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I'd rather be like that though. Like straightforward is like always the best. Just be straight up. Like, no sugarcoating.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah. We're part Irish and Scottish, so we have some family members like that.
I'll show you both. That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's Irish on my dad's side, Scottish on my mom's side. My grandma was born there and moved here.
See, I can't wait to meet her.
It's my mom's mom, but my dad's mom, like, she's Irish and all that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
what are you?
Just a little bit Irish.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit?
Our maiden name is Delaney.
Oh, yeah.
Delaney and Callahan.
Oh, yeah.
Both
Of
my
course.
cousins are actually named after the maiden name, so.
Wow.
Delaney and a Callie.
So you originally came from Utah.
Originally, yeah, Salt Lake City.
How'd you end up in Los Angeles?
She loves it in LA.
Well, Brian. No. I actually studied broadcast journalism at the University of Utah. So I did a lot of entertainment news. I did Salt TV Network there every Friday for an entertainment segment. And then I got a job in LA doing red carpet hosting and covering celebrity gifting lounges. And I edited as well. I love editing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm a big Final Cut Pro girl.
Oh.
Kill me for that. I know.
That's pretty good, though.
No, I love it.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So I started out here as an intern, kind of worked my way up, did a lot of hosting, became the creative coordinator for Beauty Entertainment magazine, and then I just kind of gravitated towards event planning. And after I had covered all the celebrity gifting lounges, I decided that that's really where my passion was. And yeah, it was great to have both sides of it, where you knew what the media was looking for because I had to get certain points across. But then from the planning aspect, you knew how to prepare that and kind of how to set that up for success.
You know, you're the only one that I found cross country who knows about that side. You're the only one.
Really?
Yeah, you're the only one. So when we met, we actually met at the Four Seasons. We got to know each other, and I was impressed because she knew our side, which is most important because a lot of people don't. They just think, we're going to invite these people. That's not necessarily how it works because there's so many things coming up. You have the calendar and my schedule coming up. You have it too. So you with all these things, then the dates keep changing. It's harder to get publicity. And there's not that much media left, which is kind of sad. Outlets are being bought up and people are disappearing now. So I'm not going anywhere because I own all of this. But the good thing is that I have sympathy for those people who came before me and those people who are coming after. I think it's always important to show people where you came from and how to help those people who need help. And certain people need more than one chance because they just don't get it.
Yeah.
Or they're just not ready, like the average millennial. They don't pick up the phone. What do? How do you communicate with me?
Instagram direct message.
I like that she laughs and she said it. She's like, oh, man.
Exactly.
What happens if the app is down?
Then I'll call you.
Maybe. They got to find the phone first.
There
Because they're always on the phone, but that doesn't mean they have it anywhere near them.
Yeah.
But, she's going to get better because I want her to succeed.
Yeah,
And I like her family, and that's the whole thing. What's your daughter like?
My daughter?
Yeah.
Ooh, she's a spitfire, but she's awesome.
Yeah.
Sassy and sweet.
I think of your daughter all the time when you asked, she was playing Drake, I think. And you asked, how do you know about Drake?
Yeah. I mean, she knows every song. She has this amazing capability to remember lyrics.
That's interesting.
You turn on any song on the radio and she's just singing at the top of her lungs. And she is, even if she doesn't know the words, she's like, blah, 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 blah. And she is convicted and she's like, actually, these are the words. Like, I've got it right, they've got it wrong. Excuse me, this is my song. But no, she's a doll. She loves being on stage. She was just Annie. And her theater group and Willy Wonka, and she performs in her dad's band all the time in the South Bay.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's fun. She's definitely not shy.
The first time you came here to Los Angeles, what was that like when you started doing media? Because there's not like a blueprint to how to do everything.
It's not. And it's interesting because when you are, well, in Salt Lake City, I had such a great mentor, Craig Worth from Worth Watching.
They've got a great brand out of there. That market doesn't get enough credit.
It was,
I met some great people out of there.
And we were lucky enough to have a very intimate classroom with less than 20 people, and we
That's
produced
good.
our news segments, and I learned from the best how to anchor and produce and to write, and so I was very fortunate for that. So, but I was kind of, I don't want to say my hand wasn't held the whole way through, but you're guided and everything is kind of laid out for you because of the great connections and, being so fortunate. When you move out to LA and you're very itty small tadpole in a really big ocean, and everyone has their opinions out here. And so it's very interesting to see who you latch onto and to what advice you follow. And you learn very quickly, which is good and not so good. Mm-hmm. But starting out here, I think it was very interesting to learn that LA, a lot of people say that it's, everyone befriends you because what can you do for me? And when you go into it with that perspective, I think that you block out a lot of the good that could be possible.
Yeah. Right.
And so I stopped listening to that, and I started accepting every opportunity that came along. Writing for little, tiny publications or larger publications, I took everything and took it in and learned from every experience.
Yeah, and you did, actually, yeah.
So, yeah, and I mean, when you have all of that in one lump sum, I can always pull from those experiences and try to give advice to others. So, but yeah, I think it was great to dive right in.
You remember your first red carpet? And who was your first celebrity that you interviewed? Do you remember?
Oh, I interviewed, one of my first was Jenny Garth.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Green was another.
Oh,
first,
God, when he was crazy.
Yeah, that was fun. It really
Wait a minute, was that when he was Drew Barrymore still?
I think it was after that.
Okay.
You're dating me, Brian. No, I'm just excuse me.
Do you know who Tom Green is? That's it.
I know Drew Barrymore.
Well, good, because Drew is great.
Yeah.
No, Tom Green is a kind of crazy guy. He doesn't do the Canadians a good name.
I'm sure if I saw a picture.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
but
interesting.
I think what I learned very quickly, and I mean, something that influencers, as they're going to more of these events,
they're going to have to learn how to do
more
interviews.
Celebrity, and having that opportunity to be interviewed. One of the things I learned very quickly is to be direct, and to always get out your talking points first. So that was a very hard lesson for me. When you're new to media and you go to these events, and you walk up to brands or to whoever you may be meeting, you want to have a casual conversation. Yeah. But why are you there? Yeah. What's your story on? What do you need out of it? Because really they're there for you. Yeah. And they want you to get what you need. So that was I think the thing that I learned.
But because you learned that, that's why I consider you the best across country. You don't know that, but I do know that. Because I travel around and I'm looking at these people all the time. I'm like, yeah, they're okay. This so-so. No, seriously, no one tops what she's learned, what she's done in a short amount of time, and that's why I'm proud of what she does, and that's why I always wanted to be in line with her, and why I want to help her to do the stuff that I can do, and the relationship that you have, no one else really has. Other people have certain things here and there, but it's kind of a business. Yours, it's more authentic.
Well, thank you.
You're like that warm and friendly girl next door. That's how I look at you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, that she is.
It really is. I think that the longer I've been in LA, the more I realize that it's all about relationships.
And you have great relationships.
I have wonderful relationships.
Absolutely.
That I value so much. And it's not about who you know, but it's about, it's really about how genuine you are with the people that you know. Yeah.
Because they know.
Loyal, and, you need to be transparent, and obviously honesty goes without saying, but the more you build those and have stronger relationships and more genuine relationships, I think the better everyone is for it. Yeah. So.
What's your website? You have one?
My website is indigoevents.com.
Okay. What did you just learn from her?
A lot.
You're going to end up doing some of these things quicker than you expect. And a lot of people aren't prepared for that. A lot of athletes aren't prepared for that, that I know. They're coming up. So we actually have a little program to help some of the athletes be prepared for doing interviews. Yeah. It's not easy. So when you came on the show 2 weeks ago, your first time, what did you think?
I was like, oh God. A little scared.
But you were really good because you were here with your dad. You have something, which is good.
Yeah, thank you. I've always been comfortable talking to other people and picking up a conversation and answering questions, but I mean, nothing like this before, where it's like other people are kind of, I guess you could say, eavesdropping on a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I was like, oh gosh, like I really have to be careful what I say, and like I'm like thinking in my head like the whole sentence I'm gonna say before it comes out of my mouth. But I mean, you can't, overthink, which I was.
No, you
for
can't.
sure.
When you did your first interview, do you remember who it was with and what it was for?
I've done so many interviews, but I think the first one I kind of just realized in my mind, just have fun, be authentic, and just speak truth. That's it. And that's just like who I am. I'm just very authentic, very genuine, having fun, nothing too serious.
Are you considered more of a b-boy or a dancer, and what's the difference now?
I would say I'm an artist more.
That makes sense.
Because I love everything. I create art with my body.
Yeah.
I grew up in b-boying first, then got into contemporary and modern and fused yoga together. So I say I'm just an overall movement artist. I could just say that. Movement artist, dancer. That's it. B-boying was a great foundation, but everything kind of just comes together. So I created Cyberyoga out of that. It's a fusion-based practice.
And no one's doing that.
Nobody's
You're also
doing
Spiderman too, aren't you?
I'm a little bit Spiderman. I'm the black Spiderman.
Exactly. You know what tripped me out one day? I was in the Roosevelt. I was coming out of the bathroom, and I was going in to wash my hands with something, and then the Spiderman walks in. I was like, "Oh, this is interesting. You don't see this all the time." And he took off his mask, and he was Asian. And I'm like, this is not Spider-Man. And I was just like, I was so thrown off because he was small and tiny. And I was like, this just doesn't work. But you are Spider-Man because you can bend
very limber, flexible,
different ways. When did you know you could do that as a kid?
I was always fascinated with Spider-Man, and I was just really in love with Spider-Man. But then as I got into yoga, I realized that I was like moving like Spider-Man and actually had the agility of like Spider-Man. So I ran into a brand that makes Spider-Man outfits, and I just put the two and two together, and then that's what happened.
You've got this great shot of you, I think, in New York on the roof. Is that in New York? Did you have the costume on?
I had the costume on, but I think that was, I'm not really sure. Was I in New York when Spider-Man? No, I think that was edited.
That's a great shot.
Yes.
And you got the black
I had the black
on.
suit. Yeah, the black suit.
He's in that typical Spider-Man pose. It's just awesome.
It's authentic. Yeah. People are like, "Oh my God, was that Photoshop?" I was like, "Nope, that was me. I'm just doing my thing, being authentic and genuine." Yeah, that was it. It was real.
Can I ask you, what age did you start yoga at?
I started yoga at the age of 30. I started really late. But in my years of practice and discipline, I found myself being really tight, always injured, and I wasn't honoring my body. And yoga just completely changed that whole dynamic. It just gave me so much more clarity, honoring my body, meditation, peace, all those amazing things. And I'm still on my journey now.
And what's your website?
Website is currently under discussion, but I do have Instagram under Cyberyoga, YouTube Cyberyoga, Facebook.com/Cyberyoga1.
And you're big on LinkedIn too. Why for you? Because I see you all over the place on LinkedIn, but I'm trying to figure out why. But I think it's great.
LinkedIn, because I want to diversify Cyberyoga in different departments. It's for overall wellness, movement, mindset, all those things. And LinkedIn is a great platform to expose that to.
And you were supposed to be here 2 weeks ago, and then you got a last-minute job. Who was it for? What happened?
Oh, that was for Kanye West.
Talk about that.
Stage performing. Yes, I was in dance company, and Kanye West actually reached out to this dance company called Jacob Jones & Company, reached out to them, and he wanted to utilize all their skills on stage for his performance at the Hollywood Bowl. Really memorable.
And then what else came out of that? Yeah, am I putting you on the spot?
Oh man, no, not putting you on the spot. Yeah, just life learning lessons about, being around geniuses and learning from their ethic and their mindset and applying it to your own. And that was, for me, that was like the biggest gift. Just being around all these amazing artists and just learning their ethic and applying it to my own.
What's that feeling like, being around all that energy like that?
I realized that we all have the similar energy. It's just the different departments and spectrums. And I kind of just really just resonated with that. But it's really powerful to see a person in their best essence on stage and directing and performing and just calculating. So for me, it's a great reminder of where I am and that you can always do better. by pushing yourself and by learning from others.
Brittany, when you find those artists like that, what are you looking for when you invite people to, say, when you're creating a gifting suite? What's most important for you?
Oh,
because you did a great event at Coachella a year ago. Was it a year ago or 2 years ago?
A year ago, yeah.
Yeah, a year ago.
You know, there's so many things that go into it. Obviously, we take into account what brands we have on site and which demographics will fit them best. So, you know, if we have a wine company, obviously, we make sure that we have, you know, something that will, you know, someone that's into wine, who's a foodie, who, you know, likes posts on pairings or travels to different wineries. If we have a clothing brand, we need to make sure that we have that age group there. But, you know, it really is about the influencers that are willing to try new brands, that are willing to be honest. Obviously, you don't want bad reviews, but when everyone, you know, when we get all of these, the same cookie cutter posts of, it was so nice meeting XYZ, their products are great. And then these little emojis, they're like, it does nothing for us. And the other thing that we look at, which really is very clear with the genuine influencers that we've come in contact with, is their following. It's not necessarily the numbers. It doesn't necessarily mean the people with the most numbers have the most likes, or the people with the most numbers, you know, get paid the most. It is what they call the, you know, the cult following. The more genuine you are as a personality and as an influencer, the more power you have.
Yes.
And the more people really do follow you because they believe in what you're doing and what you're saying, as opposed to just looking at the numbers alone. So I love that attitude, and it's so important as you're growing, you know, as an artist, which I also love that you described yourself as that. Being a dancer, I feel like so many people, you know, kind of compartmentalize and say, well, I'm a dancer, but then I'm an actor, and I'm this, and I'm a that, and but you can be an artist, and that's fair. And that's appreciated, I think, more and more as you go through. But the more genuine artist you are, or influencer, or, you know, as long as you're hoping to inspire for good, then you're on the right track. And
that's the best mindset. Great power, great responsibility.
If you had your choice, who would you like to be aligned with brand-wise? What do you like when it comes to makeup or hair or anything like that? What sticks out to you? Because, you know, you have these people that reach out to you, and then we find these people. So I'm always wanting to pair people with certain people that I think are right for it.
Yeah, so like big brand names?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, I have like my kind of like brand myself, like how I present myself, and it's like there's like the beauty people, there's, you know, kind of as we were talking earlier, like people have a theme, but I've always been into beauty. Like I could do like makeup forever. I have drawers and drawers and drawers of palettes and brushes and different shades, all the stuff. So I've always been into that. And so like you see influencers all the time with makeup brands, you know, you see like, I don't know if you know who like James Charles is, and like he has the Morphe palette, and just so many people do that kind of stuff. So I feel like that would be so cool one day to have like my own kind of palette, and to, you know, to work with like Tarte, or to work with like different brands like that, Urban, you know, Decay, like different, that's awesome. But when it comes to like sponsoring brands for that kind of stuff, I really like kind of like the Zoomies kind of look right now. It's a department store, kind of like the edgy look of a teen, kind of like the
That's
skater.
Your style for sure.
Yeah, kind of like the skater kid. You know, I like, oh god, my style's all over the place. I could be like high heels and a dress and stomping around like I'm Pretty Woman one day, and then the next day I could be like sneakers, beanie, long sleeve, and like running shorts, you know.
But isn't that the look these days, though?
Oh yeah, I mean the look for kids it's so many different things.
Very random. No.
Very random.
No specific.
People are very into like the old styles, actually, like 90s grunge. That's really kind of coming back, and like the polo shirts and khakis. You know, like my mom was actually making a comment the other day that when I was little, she would try to buy me painter's jeans with like holes on the side and like pockets all around like the legs. Now. And I was like, oh, never would I wear
have
this.
like the loop for the hammer?
Yeah, the loop for the hammer. She would tell me, she was like, trust me, one day they'll be back in. And then
bam.
Not even a month ago, I bought my first pair. And
there you
she
go.
was telling me the story. story. And she was like this exact story I'm telling you. And she's like, you told me you never buy them. I was like, well, they're in. It's the trend. Gotta get on it.
So, Brittany, when this comes back to you, this is where you're always paying attention to things too, right?
Absolutely. I mean, for us, like I said, the different demographics is always huge. So we have to be appealing to all different age groups. Yeah. But we do follow trends very closely. Any sort of apps that we can get on board for our suites are huge, obviously, because anything that you can purchase through an app is easily accessible and available to everyone. I was going to tell you need to check out, we have a client that is coming in, and they are just launching in the middle of this month, but it's called Natural Glam, and it's an app that you can actually order makeup artists and hairstylists to your door. Wow. Or on set.
Look at her, she's drooling already.
Timing.
It's all natural products, all organic, and it's amazing. So I'll send you the information. But please. Things like that, I mean, it's so powerful for you to align with an app. Mm-hmm. Not just one look, not just one brand, but something that supports
universal.
A whole movement and a whole kind of, trend as a whole. It would be awesome for you.
Talk about synchronicity.
Yeah. I wish that was a thing a couple of years ago. You have no idea how hard. My mom and I would try to find someone for high school dances to go and okay, we need to go get hair here. We need to go get makeup at Sephora.
You spend all day, and by the time you get your hair done, and then your makeup, and then your hair's flat, so you're redoing your makeup while you're getting your hair redone, and then you show up to the dance, and you're so fed up, you're
crying, you're like,
taking it out, and
wiping your eyelashes off, I'm over this.
You know what's funny about that? I think back to Coachella. You had Youngblood there. Really nice lady. I forgot what her name was, but the girls like the brand of that. I'm always looking at stuff like that because I may run into stuff before you may see it because they may just be a small company or whatever, but you just never know. I'm like, I think this would be good. I think Kenzie would like this, or Terry would like this, or Katarina would like this one. So I'm always looking. So I feel like I must have some gayness in me coming out or something like that because I have to figure out these things because I'm not going to wear them, but you guys might admire them. So I think it's always good to be open, to be that artist and always admire things in a different way, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yes.
No matter where it's coming from, because you just don't know. And I tend to find those products that people overlook. If you see me walk into a convention, I'm running. And I'm going like this, and I'm looking. Yeah. So I was like, you guys flipped you on your... You're
just downloading everything.
Yeah, and I'm like, this could be good. And I'll stop. Yeah. And I watch movies like that, because when I watch movies, I have my 3 screens going, and I have a big one here, and I'm watching them like this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because most movies are bad. So I have to find those gems that people aren't finding on Film Freeway, and it used to be Without a Box, and then submit them to festivals around the country that that people are relying on me. Brian, what do you think of this movie? It's okay. And I don't just watch 10 minutes. I watch the whole movie. Yeah. There's difference.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I've always done that, and I call it cheating, but I understand why you have to watch it. I don't do that. I watch the whole movie. So seeing things like that, I always want to make sure. So going back to the schedule of events coming up, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to attempt to get to this hall. Because if I don't get to it, I'm thinking, what did I miss?
Yeah.
What did I miss?
Of course, yeah.
It's like... My friend with this, Lumicharge, where we were last week. This is really cool. So this lamp, he sold 20 of these on Good Friday, which is great. You're doing something. Had you had not been here, you might not have been. Imagine when you come back every other week, what will happen to you?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Boxes and boxes of brands.
Exactly. But also the influence and things like that from different perspectives that could help Brittany out. Yeah. Or those people, or my friend is creating this. This might be something that they might be interested in. It doesn't matter if it's here or across country. Yeah. I think that's great.
Well, that really is the point of these lounges, right? It's not just the pictures and it's not just the media coverage. It really is to put together like-minded people where you walk away from one of our events going, I love that nonprofit. I really want to work with them. Or I have a friend who would really be into what this brand is doing, locally sourced from LA. Or, you kind of walk away and hopefully your head is spinning with ideas and you get in your car and you're brainstorming on all the different people that that would love these brand new brands on the market or, that could align in some way. Awesome. And we have brands that walk away with spokespeople. We have, celebrities that are endorsing, and it really is such a great collaboration is what we hope it to be. But as you're looking at brands to align with, I would definitely look into foundations that they're a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can really sink your teeth into a brand if you can, like, you personally can align with them on all fronts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would look into nonprofits that you'd like to be a part of and see what brands that they could kind of branch out with.
Yeah.
It'd be a good outlet for you to make those connections.
Yeah. I love that.
You have a favorite charity that you like? And if you do, which one might it be? For me, it's St. Jude, and then I like Make-A-Wish Foundation.
I worked very closely, so I was a Chi Omega at the University of Utah, and our charity was the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So that was our philanthropy. So I've worked with Make-A-Wish for quite a few years. And currently I work with Saving Sophie. Foundation. So that is near and dear to my heart. I would encourage anyone who, obviously we all have someone in our lives that is have been affected by cancer. But Saving Sophie is really the first of their kind, where they are just stepping up the game in classification for research for cannabis. They're working very closely with accredited Southern California University to reestablish research for, well, not reestablish, but to establish research for cannabinoid treatment for pediatric cancer. And what they have done is remarkable. There's so many facts that I could spout out that I won't even take the time to, but if you can go to savingsophie.org and check out all that they're doing. They have their spring fundraiser gala coming up in April or May as well. So I'll keep you posted on that, Brian, because
and you did a good one on last year on Gaines Foundation too, which I thought was really good.
Thank you.
Bill and Melinda Gates,
yes,
that was really
the
nice.
Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition. Yes, that was very near and dear to my heart as well. And they're both great foundations. There's so many nonprofits in LA that I feel like are, funded, but are also not even heard of.
Exactly.
And should be. They have their devout interested, but the rest of us really should be researching and actively engaging in that all the time.
You had one at the Oscar gifting suite. Was Lookade, was something like that? They gave out a black shirt. What I really liked it, and I like what they stood for. It was something on animals, and I really liked
Wild Aid.
Wild Aid. I like that. I really like that. I think I want to help them. I liked the lady, and I just felt a connection with her, and I liked what she was doing there. And I thought that was a good find.
Did you look at their website?
I did.
I figured you would. You always do your research. But you would be astonished at how much power, celebrity power, and influencer power they have behind them. And still, like you said, you were just introduced to them.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. I mean, the list is hundreds long and you're talking A-list celebrities.
Yep.
And even with their voices and their posts and their advocacy, you just heard of them last February.
It's funny. I just thought about that. I had, when you came on, I had Sea Shepherd and I had Tree Sisters, because without trees, and we're lost without trees, without bees. So on my property, I'm having Savannah bees. I'm going to have 36 bees, making our own honey and stuff like that, because you got to have bees. Without bees and trees, we're kind of gone.
It's true.
And it's kind of sad. So, and it's also been connected movie-wise. One of the best movies I saw this year was Honeyland, on a lady in Eastern Europe, and her job was to go and collect the honey from the bees, and she would just take what she needed and she would leave the rest for the bees. And she did it throughout decades. And then what happened, these guys came in and said, oh, we can help you do this. Well, they ruined it. You could just see it coming. They started taking all the honey, and then the bees started doing nothing, and then they started dying off. And that's not how you do it. And it's a great documentary, and which leads us to getting into the film part of things. We got about 10 minutes. Talk about, have you seen any films? You're in SAG and after, right?
Yes.
Okay, did you get some of your screeners yet? Do you get them?
Yes. My favorite movie so far, it may be controversial, is The Joker.
Oh.
Interesting, which is done really, really well worldwide.
Well,
why do you like it?
Because it's basically like a documentary how somebody, someone could be a great person, does their best. There's a good heart person, and society shapes their mindset, and they turn into somebody that they're not supposed to be. And that film portrayed that perfectly. It was just so powerful how one person can be so genuine, so caring, and he's shaped into this monster at the end of the movie.
Are you surprised on how well it did?
I'm really surprised. Because DC. I mean, of course, I love.
Are you a Marvel or DC fan?
Honestly, I'm DC.
Okay.
I like DC.
That they're starting to come up
Yeah,
with
starting to come up.
Aquaman
Now they're-
and
now-
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, now they're starting to get more deeper and more.
See how excited
intellectual.
he's getting.
Yeah, I mean they're getting.
He's gonna be
deeper,
playing the
I know.
Joker next.
intellectual. Like I feel like it's really
Kids.
raw and gritty. It's not like popcorn and all. No, it's like it's real. It's like it's real. It's raw and it's real. A little bit of dark. It just for me it's a little bit more real. But Joker was like the game changer for me.
Good.
Yeah, for
Kind of
sure.
$1 billion. Can you imagine that? It tops Superman and Batman now.
Incredible. Why?
How do you not
Because
not
it's the
do a
story.
sequel?
It's the story. It's not all it's like it's not about the CGI and all this cool. No, it's about the story. The storyline has to be authentic and genuine. It really has to hit people. And that's
Have
what
you
they
had a
did.
chance to get to the movies yet? I call it reward season because all the good movies come out now.
Yeah.
Anything that you're seeing on online, since you're that millennial, doesn't really go to the theater so much, or do you go a lot?
I actually do. I
You
just
do?
went.
What'd you
I saw
see?
Frozen.
Show me your ticket stub.
Saw Frozen 2.
Me too.
Was it good? Was it good?
I thought it was alright.
What'd you see?
Okay, wait. I have
Frozen
a 10-year-old.
2.
What was your
Oh, yes.
excuse? No, I'm just kidding.
I am
just kidding.
internally a 10-year-old.
That's
But,
fair. It was my idea.
yeah. No, my mom texted me. She's like, "We're going to see Frozen 2." I was like, "Okay,
Okay.
sure."
It's interesting.
But I saw that, but I thought it was okay. Yeah. I thought
I
sequels
honestly-
are hard to top.
I actually liked it. I thought there was a
Really?
lot more singing this time around.
I thought it was too much.
It was honestly there was less dialogue, more singing to me. But for me, it answered. As a writer,
heck?
you always
Yeah.
kind of go, "What's next?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sequels are difficult. You're right.
Yeah.
But for me, it answered, "Where does Elsa belong?"
Yeah.
Because I always felt bad that she was just trapped there, and
Yeah.
knowing she could be more.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Like, go girl.
Yeah.
And I like you
Yeah.
find yourself. Like,
That's
you do
funny.
You,
Yeah.
you
You're
know?
getting deep.
That for me, that's what I got out of it.
Yeah.
But we actually left, and my daughter said that was better than the first.
Really?
So
That's
My
good.
mom said that was a waste of money.
really.
So two different. Yeah.
So here's what I learned when it comes to movies. There are no right or wrong answers because everybody sees things a different way.
Perspectives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing about going to movies. And again, my job, no matter what, is to get people out of their homes to go see a movie.
Yeah.
So
In the
even
theater.
I have in the theater. So when I saw, I think the best film so far is The Irishman. I went to go see it
Oh
on
my
the
God!
big
I saw that
screen.
on Netflix.
My dad just.
All right,
watched it
so
last
you
night.
saw it on Netflix.
Oh my God,
Your
that
dad
was
just
the
saw it.
movie.
I saw it on the big screen. So
Wow.
getting into the streaming wars now, and I'm dealing with Amazon and Hulu and Apple and Disney, all of those, which is really interesting because of the numbers that we have. They're starting to come this way, which is nice. So when it comes to the streaming wars, you guys watch everything on everything. I refuse to watch a movie on this. You couldn't pay me to watch a film. I love going to the NoHo 7 Limley Theaters, getting my popcorn for $5.75 and getting it refilled.
Yeah.
When I walk in, whether I have my backpack, whatever, there comes Brian. We know what he wants.
It's
And they
interaction.
turn around and give me my popcorn.
Yeah.
And I know what I'm getting. And I don't want to be bothered. Don't be talking to me. I just want to go sit in the corner away from everybody.
Yeah.
If there's kids in there, I go to the front. If they're in the front, I go in the way in the back. I still love the movie going
I'm right there with you.
experience.
Well, it's such a different
Hands-on.
experience
It's a different
versus
experience.
just sitting on your couch, turning on with their
Pressing a
remote, just
button.
watching. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
It is, but I mean, just to be honest, it's expensive.
Oh.
Well, that's the other thing.
I mean, I remember, now I'm dating myself, but I remember when you would go to the movies and it would be, $7,
yeah.
$7.95 if you went after 5 p.m.
Yeah.
But I mean, when we went to Frozen 2, we were well over $100 just
Yeah.
to take our family.
$20 popcorn.
That's
I mean,
the
like-
other
And I was
thing.
gonna say
Yeah.
that's even without
Yeah.
snacks.
Yeah.
And then you have the dine-in where I'm getting a glass of wine, but the bill's $15, and then you're into.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, right? That's,
Yeah.
No,
and there's
but
that
that's
crowd of loud people too. Like you're just like, oh my God, can you be quiet? So there's that dynamic
exactly.
as well.
You can't control the environment,
Yeah.
but that's a nice dinner, right?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
It
I like
is.
the entertainment value, and I do it because I do love the experience of going, and the atmosphere is so different than just being. Even if you have surround sound,
Yeah.
it's still an event, right? And I love that. But let's be honest, it's expensive compared to an.
And that's what I talk to
Netflix
people about
subscription.
because I totally get it. I went to, and I like to go see movies cross country, and and they don't know what I do, and I'm like, oh, what are you guys gonna be here? And they're excited to go to the movies. It's
Yeah.
almost like they haven't gone.
Yeah.
Either whether it's Georgia or in Tennessee or in Indianapolis. I'm like, well, this is interesting. This is what people need to know. So I'm still paying. So if I go to the ArcLight, I'm like, oh, I don't want to give you $18. And I don't want to see it in 4D. And don't tell me where to sit. That drives me nuts.
You gotta pick your seat on a computer.
You know what I get upset. I take it personally. I'm like, pick one seat out for me. I don't want to be told where to sit. What if I want to sit here? I actually tell them this, and they're like, "We're sorry, sir. You got to pick a seat." I don't want to pick a seat. I want to go sit where I want to sit.
He just wants what he wants. Brian wants what he wants. That's it.
And what? I'm going to sit in the seat.
He's paying money.
No, seriously. I'm going to sit in the seat where there's only 3 people in there. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's true.
No, that's how I look at it. Now, if it's at night, I can understand that, but I don't want to go at night. I don't want to go because that's where it gets into the expenses, and I usually go by myself because I got tired of waiting for my friends. Don't go see that movie without me. Well, I'll be waiting forever.
All the time.
And I was.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Like, there's so many reasons why I don't go as often. Because of expenses and because, like, you know, it's just easier sometimes. I'm that person that gets so irritable if someone's, like, phone's ringing, or even if you can see the light beam on, like, on their face. Like, even though I'm on my phone all the time, if someone's, like, even checking their phone for a split second in a movie theater, I'm like, Becky, put down the phone and look up. Like, I get so pissed. I get so pissed. And my parents know that, so they're like, we're not taking her to the movie theater again. And, like, it's the popcorn chewers in your ears. Like,
oh, my God.
Shut your kid up. Like,
or the kick in the back of the
yeah,
oh, my God.
You gotta chew with their mouth closed. It's not that hard.
Oh, my God.
But there's
Okay,
so many reasons.
I'm bad when it comes to my phone. This is what I do. I put it in the cup holder, and I know it's ringing and texting, and sometimes I can't help, but I come like this. And I actually had someone.
Right,
I know you would hate me.
No, you just lost it for me. I'm a millennial.
I can't help
I'm a
it
teenager.
sometimes.
I can even put it in my purse.
This is where I get like you guys. I'm like, I gotta know who's going.
Yeah.
I can't help
my
it.
God.
But like for movie theaters, oh my God, if it's a big movie, I will stand like the 24-hour line, like for the premiere at the movie theater. I will stand outside, like the new Star Wars movie coming out.
Oh
in
my
December.
God.
I'm gonna be there like 2 days before with a tent, like sitting
Waiting to
there
watch it.
See?
in my Yoda costume, just like.
But
I'm
do you remember? That's how the original Star Wars was.
Yeah.
They were wrapped around.
Yeah.
Around the block.
So here's the
Still like
backstory
that.
of this. So he saved the movie Star Wars. I can't remember his name right now. Famous person you would never know. His first name was George from 20th Century Fox. What he did, they didn't believe in Star Wars. They said, this is a piece of garbage. So they said, George, do your thing. Just do your thing and I'll hold off the board. This is when 20th Century Fox was being bought by a corporation. So he personally saved Star Wars. So when it opened, all of a sudden they see these lines of people forming. They didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And that's what made the story of Star Wars. This one guy saved it because he believed in what George Lucas's vision was going to be. Yeah. And that's a great thing because look where it is now. Yeah. I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I could appreciate that.
Case? Like,
I'm looking at it.
I have posters in my room.
I love Star Wars too.
Oh my God.
So this is what I told her 2 weeks ago. What did I tell you 2 weeks ago who I was going to introduce you to?
Oof.
George Lucas.
Oh yeah.
What?
I said that for her and her dad. I'll introduce you to George Lucas because he's up near my property.
Wow.
I would probably break down and cry, and I would die happy.
I'm prepared for that.
Yeah.
No, that's what will happen. So because again, that's the whole thing. This is the good thing about going to see a movie. Unfortunately, they do make it expensive. Mm-hmm. Why should popcorn have to be so expensive? You know, or that glass of wine.
Yeah.
We're spoiled. We're used to getting our wine for free.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
I mean, it's fun though now because I mean, you're not allowed to bring bags or to check your bags, and so my mom, my sister, and I, whenever we go, we stuff the candy in our sweatshirts.
We all did it.
We put like a bag of like
Hey.
caramel popcorn.
Yep.
Yeah, you bring all the food in. You
I still sneak into another theater if I have to.
Yeah, you're
Ninja
like,
style.
they'll never catch me. Yeah.
Hey,
That's
I bring my QURE water in.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Because I refuse to pay for the water. And
$5. What,
yeah,
$7
and for me,
Yeah.
I'm used to going to see 2 movies, and I'm like, okay, do I have the time to see this? Can I do this? And I'm like, yes. And I'm like, do I want to go back out and pay $18 to see a bad movie? Just because I'm a movie whore, I can't help it. I got to go see movies. Do I want to do that? So I will wander sometimes, and then I'm like, sometimes I go out and actually pay, and then I'm like, nah, I don't have the time to do it.
Yeah.
because I've already stepped outside. But while I'm in, I'm that kid like you are Star Wars. That's the one thing. That's why it's called Movie Reviews and More.
Yeah.
The more is part of everything.
Yeah,
But
I
it
like
all
that.
started with the movie review.
Like, if you can get me out to a movie theater, then I will spend, like, however much money I want, like,
Star Wars.
on all the popcorn
Star
candy.
Wars
Like,
doesn't.
if it's a movie that I'm totally invested in, especially if it's a franchise, then yeah. I mean,
So are you a DC or Marvel person?
that's when you said DC.
Right away, I heard it. It was like, right away, boom. I'm gonna hear it. I'm gonna hear
Like
it.
a legit image, like time.
Teacher.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like Marvel. Marvel is great. But
It's not separate movies.
But for
altogether.
something, because I'm older and I feel like the integrity and the rawness, I gotta go with DC.
You could go see a movie with like a grown man dressed in a bat suit that has a deep voice and just jumps off buildings, or you could go see this like amazing superhero pack that actually has like powers.
Avengers
and
was
stuff, you know.
Avengers was incredible. The last one was like
Stop.
Oh, that was good.
Stop. I will get this will be a 10-hour-long discussion. Bring that up.
all of them were
For the
great.
next
Actually,
show.
all
That'll
of
be
them
for
were
the
great.
next one.
All of them were great.
DC versus Marvel.
Oh my god. It'll be a 10-hour-long show.
I might have to sit in the middle though, Brian.
But you know what would be amazing though?
Express part.
You know what would be amazing if they made
combined.
one super franchise. That would be
You know
game
what? I
over.
agree.
That would be
That
incredible.
But they
that
wouldn't.
that would
It's
be
just two
almost
different
impossible.
worlds.
Yeah.
I mean, these
But-
films
but
make
you
so
never
much
know.
money.
Lightsabers, you bring in Star Wars.
Superhero
oh my
films
God.
make so much money though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I know.
And if somebody
That's
had
why the fact
mindset
that
to pull
Joker
it
did
off,
so well is
oh
amazing.
my god, it would be like the world would go like collapse.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would. DC and Marvel together in a film.
Yeah.
Imagine it.
Yeah.
It's possible. Anything is possible now.
Brittany, what does your daughter like best? Does she recognize the Marvel? Does she like the Marvel stuff? Or is she more like a Wonder Woman, Aquaman?
You know, she loves superheroes in general. She really loves graphic novels.
Ah.
So her favorite series is the Amulet series.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea what they were, and she was just obsessed. She read them nonstop. So she kind of got introduced to comics that way. Before seeing comics and then liking the graphic novels, she went to this, little girl that has a special necklace, and she was like, there's more? Like, this wasn't the first of its kind, you know? So she's kind of ventured more into it. But yeah, she's a fan of anyone with special powers because she's,
She's
like
got girl
has them
power.
all the time.
What's
Yeah.
yours? What do you like?
Mine, I'm more of an Avengers type of person.
There you go.
But here's the thing. I'm appreciating what Warner Brothers is starting to do because I root for those films just to get people to go out and see. Because you know why? Before your time, there was a thing called the video store, which doesn't exist anymore.
Do you know what a VHS is? No, I'm just
I have all the collectible Disney movies in VHS, actually.
Do you know some of them are worth money now?
They are?
Yeah. Not all of them, some of them.
Wow.
Everyone made so much fun of me for bringing them, and I took them in my move. I took very little with me.
Yeah, but
to
you did
LA.
that. But that's smart because I don't know what they did with all the VHS tapes. Even I don't know. However, I do know this: some of those Disney ones are collectibles
I
now.
have all of them.
And when they take them out of the vault, I have all
Yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
I mean, they're doing all the like Blu-ray and DVD. Like you see the
Yeah,
commercials
those
on
don't
it.
count.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
okay, like what? It's just better quality, but it's I don't know something about the VHS. I'm sorry, brings me back to like when I was a kid and my mom would pop it in. I'd sit there like, oh my god, I'm watching Peter Pan. Oh my god, I'm watching Peter Pan. Like,
But that's
super
exciting.
excited.
That's also a family
Yeah.
affair too, which is great.
Yeah, it just brings back to like the old memories. It kind of gives you the feel of like, oh my god, this is like a classic. You can't get that with a lot of other things, especially like the quality and like.
I swear
Oh,
it taught me
yeah.
patience.
Yeah.
Having
It's-
to hit rewind.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And then have the whole thing go back to the beginning
Yes.
instead of just hitting a button and play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would just sit there.
Because I was on the phone the other day in the
Yeah,
theater and I
almost
wanted to
something
stop the
gets a little-
projectionist
Yeah.
and start it again,
Yeah,
but I
would-
couldn't.
Yeah, we would have to like leave somewhere and there was no pause button, so I'm like, Mom, no, please, like, can we just watch the rest 45 minutes? She's like, nope. Turned it off, and then we had to watch all the like part that we already watched, and then finally get back to the part we left off on.
See, but
So-
you see that's the same magic that you feel going to the movie theater.
Absolutely.
It's the same energy. Like you want to
Yeah.
be there to watch it.
Yeah.
Now it's like technology makes everything super convenient. And it's like bittersweet. It's like, okay, yeah, you know, you're home, you can watch it instantaneously, or go out with your friends and family, get really excited, make it an event, and go watch it. So,
very true.
I feel like at the movie theaters, it kind of adds like an emotional part, like
experience.
You're there, you
yeah,
know?
you're at the
What I feel like you're too comfortable at home. You're kind of just like, oh, that was a good movie. Like next, you know. But at the movie theater, I end up like laughing.
And you're forced to watch it.
Yeah,
you're forced to watch it because
no
if you're
distraction,
binging on Netflix all day, you can watch a movie for a second, but oh, I'm done with it. Next one.
Well, and the other
Next
thing
one.
is we're getting the links all the time, so I've got to get up and go outside, or else I'm inside all the time. That's why when I'm in Vegas, I'm just there to work. When I'm in Los Angeles and running around the country, I'm actually going to all these events, and I need some place just to go get away. Out of all places, it's Vegas, but I don't go out.
Yeah.
I'm just strictly working.
Yeah.
Last go around. So, people reaching out to you, how do they find you?
Well, you can.
She wanted to get onto the Avengers.
See you on TikTok soon.
You will. Mark my words. Kenzie's gonna help me.
She'll be the next
Wait
thing.
for it.
She's taking it over.
Yeah.
All of us on TikTok, we're gonna die.
She perfect trifecta right here. No, my Instagram is Reimann Reason, which is my last name, Reimann Reason. And you can find my website at www.indigoevents.com.
And please reach out to her. She's a wonderful person.
Thank you.
Well, Instagram is at Kenzie McClelland, KenziemCCLELLAND, and from there you can find my TikTok, same username, or my Snapchat, which is also in the bio.
You know, she still wants to go into the Avengers. You can just see it.
I know. It's gonna come up. It's gonna come up. You can follow Lamonte Goode at Cyberyoga, Instagram at Cyberyoga, TikTok, inspired by my friend here, at Cyberyoga, and YouTube Cyberyoga, and my new account, my new movement, practice with my partner at Neosutras, Neosutras on Instagram.
And I'm Brian Sebastian. This is Movie Reviews and More, the Women's Broadcast TV Network, Worldwide TV Network, and iTube 247. And we will see you next week. This was a fun show. They will all be back again. We will all see each other because they're all newfound friends, but they were all needed to be connected anyhow. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right.
That was so much fun.
Oh my God.
DC and Marvel now.
Yeah.
So fun. That was amazing. Wow. Amazing.
That's funny.
That's great.
Oh no, but you were like, oh. I was like, oh.
I was trying to hold it in.
We're in trouble.
It was like true, honest defeat. It was like, she was like,
yeah.
She's about to just throw her arm